What if a simple daily habit could act as a personal bodyguard, not only preserving your physical strength, but also actively fortifying your body's defenses against a heart attack? After age 60, imagine an underappreciated food easily found in any grocery store and remarkably affordable that contains more high-quality heart-protective protein than an egg. To understand this better, let's consider a relatable scenario. Meet John, a 67-year-old man who does everything right. He monitors his cholesterol levels, takes his daily walk, and avoids salty foods. However, he still feels a subtle decline. Getting up from his favorite armchair has become more difficult. Carrying a bag of groceries feels like a chore, and he feels a general fatigue that wasn't there a few years ago. John, like many others, attributes this to simply getting older. But what he doesn't realize is that this gradual loss of strength is a critical red flag for his cardiovascular health. The silent loss of muscle as we age, a medical condition known as sarcopenia, is far more serious than a cosmetic issue. It is a profound metabolic shift that directly increases your risk of a heart attack. It is the silent precursor to a cascade of problems: chronic inflammation that irritates your arteries, worsening insulin resistance, that disrupts blood sugar control, and a metabolic slowdown that makes weight gain easier. These are all well-known causes of a heart attack, and they often don't begin with a dramatic symptom, but with the silent disappearance of muscle tissue. Understanding this link is the first most crucial step in learning how to prevent a heart attack effectively as you age. When asked to name a protein-rich food, most of us immediately think of eggs. And for good reason. They are nature's nutrient powerhouses. But when it comes to the specific goal of protecting your muscles and cardiovascular system overnight, there is a surprisingly more effective champion: cottage cheese. Let's examine the science and the numbers in more detail. To visualize this, we will directly compare a typical serving. When we compare 2 large eggs and a half-cup serving of low-fat cottage cheese, the initial numbers might seem comparable, but they hide a strategic difference. In terms of total protein content, cottage cheese is slightly ahead, providing about 14 grams compared to about 12 grams from 2 eggs. However, the most crucial difference lies not in this small amount, but in the very nature and digestion speed of that protein. The protein in eggs, primarily albumin in the egg white, is classified as fast digesting. Meanwhile, about 80% of the protein in cottage cheese is casein, a protein renowned for its slow digesting properties. In addition, cottage cheese also has an advantage in its leucine content, an essential amino acid for activating the muscle-building process, with about 1.3 grams compared to just 1.1 grams in 2 eggs. It is this combination of a higher protein content, a slow digesting protein type, and a more abundant amount of leucine that makes cottage cheese a superior strategic choice for protecting your health overnight. Imagine your metabolism is like a fireplace. The protein from eggs is like throwing a handful of kindling into the fire. It creates a big, bright, and fast-burning flame. This is fantastic after a workout when your muscles are hungry and in need of immediate repair. However, when you go to sleep, you enter a fasting period that lasts for 8 to 10 hours. A quick burst of protein from eggs is used up within a few hours, leaving your body without fuel for the rest of the night. During this period without fuel, your body may start doing something very dangerous, breaking down its own muscle tissue for energy. This process is called catabolism. It not only makes you weaker, but also releases stress hormones like cortisol. Cortisol increases inflammation and can destabilize blood sugar, putting direct pressure on your cardiovascular system. This is a silent metabolic storm that occurs every night, eroding your health without the obvious symptoms of a heart attack. This is precisely where cottage cheese rich in casein protein changes the game. Casein is like a slow-burning oak log in the fireplace. It forms a gel-like substance in the stomach, releasing amino acids into your bloodstream steadily and slowly over a period of 7 to 8 hours. This provides a continuous anti-catabolic shield, preventing muscle breakdown and keeping your metabolic system calm and stable throughout the night. This isn't just theory. A landmark study published in the journal Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise had participants consume 40 grams of casein protein before bed. The results showed that they experienced a significantly higher rate of overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to those who did not. This means their bodies didn't just stop eating themselves, but were actively building and repairing. More recent studies, including a 2019's review in the journal Nutrients, have reinforced these findings, emphasizing that consuming protein before bed enhances muscle mass and strength, particularly in older adults. By preventing this nightly metabolic storm, you are directly reducing one of the biggest burdens on your heart. Providing slow-digesting protein is only half of the story. The other half, which is perhaps even more important, is how effectively does your body use that protein? Imagine that deep inside your cells there is a biological switch. When it is turned on, it instructs your body to begin the process of building and repairing muscle tissue, the most metabolically active tissue, which helps burn sugar and fat effectively. This switch is known by its scientific name, mTOR. The problem is, as we get older, this mTOR switch becomes resistant or less sensitive. It requires a stronger signal to be activated. The key to flipping the mTOR switch is not just protein in general, but a specific amino acid named leucine. It is known as the primary anabolic amino acid. You need a sufficient amount of leucine in each meal, about 2.5 to 3 grams, to reach the leucine threshold and flip this switch forcefully. If you don't reach this threshold, the protein you consume will not be used effectively to build muscle. This is precisely the point where cottage cheese once again proves its superiority. 1 cup, about 226 Gs, of low-fat cottage cheese contains approximately 6 grams of leucine, enough to powerfully activate the mTOR switch. Why is activating mTOR so important for preventing heart attack pain? The link is very clear and direct. 1. mTOR activation leads to muscle protein synthesis. 2. More muscle. Your body has more factories to consume glucose from the blood. 3. Better glucose consumption. Improved insulin sensitivity throughout the body. 4. Better insulin sensitivity. More stable blood sugar levels with fewer spikes. 5. Stable blood sugar, less inflammation. The delicate lining of the artery's endothelium is less damaged. 6. Less damaged arteries. Reduced formation of atherosclerotic plaques, the main cause of artery blockage. 7. Fewer atherosclerotic plaques. Significantly reduced risk of a heart attack. By eating a leucine-rich meal, you are initiating a biochemical chain reaction that helps address one of the deepest root causes of a heart attack. A study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that leucine-rich meals enhanced muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% more than lower leucine meals, even when the total protein intake was the same. This is a proactive prevention strategy so that you never have to experience what a heart attack feels like. For decades, we have thought of muscles as merely something that helps us move. But modern science has revealed an astonishing truth. Muscle functions as an endocrine organ, a personal pharmacist, producing and releasing powerful signaling molecules called myokines every time we contract our muscles. Whether you are walking, lifting something, or even just standing up from a chair, your muscle fibers are releasing these chemical messengers into your bloodstream. They travel throughout the body, influencing everything from the brain to the liver, and most importantly, your cardiovascular system. One of the most potent myokines studied is irisin. Irisin has a special ability to combat low-grade chronic inflammation, a process known as inflammaging inflammation due to aging. This inflammation is like a smoldering fire burning inside your blood vessels, damaging the endothelial lining and creating conditions for bad cholesterol, LDL, to accumulate and form dangerous atherosclerotic plaques. By releasing irisin and other anti-inflammatory myokines, your muscles are directly quenching this fire, helping to keep your arteries clear and pliable. This is a direct protective mechanism against atherosclerosis, which is the underlying cause of most heart attacks and strokes. Inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein CRP and interleukin-6 IL-6, which are warning signs for cardiovascular risk, have been shown to be significantly reduced in people who maintain lean muscle mass and exercise regularly. Think of Helen, age 70. After hearing about this benefit, she started a simple at-home workout program with resistance bands 3 times a week. Initially, her goal was just to feel a little stronger. But after a few months, not only did she find she could climb stairs without getting short of breath, but she also noticed her mood was better, her sleep was deeper, and her overall energy levels were more stable. Her doctors also noted that her blood pressure had improved. What Helen was experiencing was the effect of myokines. Her muscles were producing their own medicine, not only making her physically stronger, but also protecting her from cardiovascular risk factors from within. This is especially important because heart attack symptoms in women can often be more subtle and harder to recognize than in men, making prevention all the more urgent. The empowering truth is that you can absolutely control these risk factors. Instead of just worrying and waiting, you can adopt a daily protocol based on biology, not conjecture, to build a healthy body from the inside out, capable of fighting off cardiovascular threats. Let's start with a simple yet powerful action. Consume a slow-digesting protein, such as 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This is not just to feed your muscles. It is also a nightly shield for your cardiovascular system. By doing this, you prevent the state of metabolic stress during your 8 hours of sleep, a time when cortisol levels can rise, causing inflammation and disrupting blood sugar. Silent assaults on your blood vessel walls. Maintaining this stability is one of the core strategies to proactively prevent a heart attack. At the same time, ensure each of your main meals meets the leucine threshold with a minimum of 2.5 to 3 grams. This amino acid acts as a metabolic regulator, activating the mTOR switch to help the body use sugar more efficiently and improve insulin sensitivity. When you know that poor blood sugar control is one of the primary causes of a heart attack, you will understand that this is a way to address the problem at its root. Of course, this nutritional strategy must be combined with smart exercise. Resistance training 2 to 4 times a week and walking 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day will create sugar-hungry muscles, helping to reduce the burden on the insulin system and improve circulation. Knowing what are the signs of a heart attack is important, but building a body where those signs are unlikely to appear is even more important. Finally, stay away from saboteurs like alcohol-processed foods and prolonged stress, as they directly cause inflammation and increase blood pressure. The goal of this protocol is alignment, not perfection. Instead of passively searching for the 6 signs of a heart attack, a month before you are proactively building a solid foundation of health so that those signs don't have a chance to arise. Because when you get older, it is your inner strength that will help you maintain independence, control your energy, and most importantly, protect your heart. Equipping yourself with the knowledge of how to survive a heart attack alone after 60 is necessary, but building a life where you never have to use that knowledge is infinitely better. The power to change is found not only in the gym, but also in your kitchen, and it is reinforced in your very sleep. This is not a metaphor. This is biological reality. By strategically nourishing your muscle mass, you are directly nourishing a healthy heart and an independent future. If you found this information truly valuable, a simple click on the like button will help spread this important message to more people who might need it. It's the simplest way you can be part of our journey to improve community health, and I genuinely want to hear from you. What was the most surprising thing you learned in this video? Were you aware of the deep connection between muscle strength and heart attack risk before this, or perhaps you have your own small tip that you use to protect your heart each day? Please share your stories and thoughts in the comment section below. This isn't just a place to leave an opinion, it's a space where we can all learn from each other, exchange experiences, and build a community dedicated to living healthily and independently. Finally, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. I have so many more science-based strategies to share to help you live your fullest life after 60. You won't want to miss them. Wishing you great health, and I'll see you in the next video.